Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. Welcome to my show. My name's Jake. It's not Thursday today, but, well, I don't have a new beer for you either. This one is, it's Hopslam. So I've had it a few times. I've been on here a few times. Usually this one takes me a little longer to drink because it's heavy and delicious. Don't forget though, you can find me on Tap, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at tubajake_69. Tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you do too, because I'm going to keep telling them. If you tell me stories, I'll tell you as many as you want. Other people's stories are fun to tell too sometimes. Yeah, so Hopslam, it's going to be great. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that more people get to see this. Let's get going. Now, Hopslam came out, well, I mean, this one was bottled in October, so it's been out for a while, but my store just got it not very long ago. So, it's still good within its time that I should be drinking it as fresh. But also, it's a little bit old. That's okay, because it's not the ones from years past, because usually I drink one, maybe two of these, of the ones that I buy, and I don't drink the rest of them, because you need to be in a very special place to be drinking Hopslam. Usually it helps to have people with you, because like I said, it's heavy. 10% ABV, lots of hops in this guy, brewed with honey, makes it extra sweet, and kind of good. You can smell the honey in it. It smells like flowers. Weird. But yeah, it's classic. This is the thing that you need to do if you're in Michigan and this is out. Hopslam is a thing to do. It's different than a lot of the beers that I like, but I do like this one. It's a little different. So like I said, it smells like honey and flowers. Malt is in there. Man, tastes like bad decisions. That's not true. It does taste like a lot like college, or just after college. Reminds me of the year that I spent teaching. I was down near Kalamazoo, so I got an entire mini keg of Hopslam. It's delicious. I like it a lot. Actually, I think I had more than one mini keg. Like, I bought one, and I think a friend of mine that was down doing grad school at Western bought one. I helped him drink that. He helped me drink mine. Because if you're gonna, I mean, that stupid mini keg was like $60 easy back then. I'm gonna imagine that the mini kegs now would be a lot more than that. Does this remind me of any beers? I mean, I've made a bunch of stuff with honey, but they're not like this usually. A nice honey ale that I was working on for a little bit, and I think that I had it, and I try to bump up the ABV with honey, because, I mean, it's easy to do. 1 pound of honey in a 5 pound, on a 5 gallon batch is going to bump it up 1 ABV, 1% alcohol by volume. So you add in like 3 pounds of honey, and you've got something that's going to kick you out in your butt. But, I mean, this doesn't taste like that. I wasn't making pale ales. Well, I guess that one was more of a pale ale, but like, it was honey. It was meant to be for honey. I did make that one into a very nice margarita beer. The plan was not to have it be margarita. The plan was to have it be tequila and spice. Like, it was going to be hot. Put some peppers in to sit on, and brewed it with agave nectar instead of the honey. And it was very good. But right near the end of when I was doing that, I found some key limes at work, and I was like, oh, these would go really well in there. Not thinking, oh, I was going to not do that because everybody does that. So it ended up tasting like spicy tequila, if anybody remembers that. It was weird back in the day. Like, just as I turned 21, they came out with that tequila flavored beer, had some lime in it. It was weird then, but now it's normal. But yeah, this doesn't taste like that. This tastes like flowers. It's definitely not, it's West Coast, which is a thing that the Bell's does really well. West Coast IPAs, Bell's does that really well. But this one is honey. There's honey in this. You can taste it. The brewer from Slow Brew, I was talking to him because obviously, if you know about Bell's, you know about Two Hearted, and you know probably about this. And I was like, yeah, they put honey in it. And he's like, I don't know how much honey they actually put into it. So, it says right on the can, brewed with honey. So I'm guessing yes, that, but then also probably they do a honey malt, which is another, I think it's like how much you roast the grains, like with the black and with the chocolate and stuff like that, malts, amber malts. The honey is one of those colors. So I'm thinking he's thinking that, but this has honey in it. You can taste it. I can taste it. Usually when I do these with Hopslam, they tend to be a little bit long, like 15 minutes, but hopefully this one is not that long. Oh man. But yeah, what is it? Is there a story that this reminds me of? Mostly this just reminds me of living down in Kalamazoo, really. That's really, or by Kalamazoo, because I didn't live in Kalamazoo. I lived like a half hour further south in Three Rivers. But I come up to Kalamazoo because there's a bunch of stuff to do. Usually it was Portage, because Portage is actually a nicer place to be than Kalamazoo. I went to Central, so Kalamazoo, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when I say it. But they do have a lot of really cool stuff there. Actually, my favorite thing about Kalamazoo ever is that they just leave beer all over on the streets. I think I had my favorite beer that I've ever done on here as a Two Hearted. Went for a trip with my girlfriend and went to go get in the car, and there was a Two Hearted sitting out on a table. Nobody around. Pretty much just us. I said, hey, is this anybody's beer? And I didn't get an answer. So I put it in the car because it was like 20 degrees outside and it was probably actually frozen. But yeah, brought it back here, did a show about it because the best beer is free beer. My favorite, free. Even better than something light, dark, a little bit fruity. Although, like, if I was actually going to like buy a beer, that's what I would try to get, but those are hard to find. Next best beer, probably an open beer. Probably, I think that's one of the things back over in here. Yeah, down over there. It says the best beer is an open beer, and it's full of bottle caps. So obviously, I've opened a lot of beers. Drinking my Hopslam out of my Hopslam glass. This kind of reminds me of a time when I went to I was going to college a second time, and on spring break wanted to do something, and then Central had the same spring break, so I went with my brother and a few friends down to the brewery, down to Bell's, and I got a glass to go. I got a glass that had Hopslam in it. It was a nice snifter, and I got it. Like, it's in my possession still. Probably shouldn't admit that, but it was a long time ago. I'd give it back if they wanted it, probably. They probably don't even have the same glasses anymore. I left an extra big tip, though, because, somebody's got to pay for those. Probably the servers, which is crappy. Or the bartenders, whichever, doesn't matter. Crappy. Anyway, done with that. So I've got a quote for you. This one is from Nikola Tesla. He's an inventor, kind of created AC power, which is amazing stuff. He said, "One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane." So yeah, if you want to think clearly, be sane. If you want to think deeply, you might have some problems. I mean, you can think deeply and be and not be crazy. Be sane. You can think deeply, but it's easier if you're a little bit crazy. So anyway, don't forget you can find me at tubajake_69 at Untapped YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because then everybody gets to see this. Don't forget to tell me your stories, because I like to hear them. I like to tell them. I'll keep telling them, but if you tell me your stories, then I get to tell more, and I like doing that. And I'll see you next time. When you got time for a beer.